Hey there everybody, I'm Seashow and welcome to what I'll call the first episode of a new series, quotations. I have access to a test pack of the newest version of Direwolf 20's pack, which is going to be the update for 1.7.10, and I figured I'd share with you guys a little bit and show you what's to come. If you haven't played with any of the 1.7.10 mods yet, then you're in for a pretty good treat. I have only played with some of these in depth since 1.7.10, so while I know some of the new stuff, I'm not going to know all of it. But I can show you guys what I do know, and as I come across new stuff, I can always point it out to you guys so that you know what's going on. It is not a complete pack yet. This is still, it's pretty early alpha. I don't have any kind of estimate on a release date for it or anything like that, so there's no point in bothering asking me. But it's got most of the major mods already. You've probably seen them being used on Forgecraft or in some of the third-party mod packs that are out there already. But it has pretty much all the major mods: the Tinker's Construct, Thaumcraft, Applied Energistics. I believe it has the Industrial Craft too, yep. Biomes of Plenty, Natura, Forestry, Buildcraft, all of it. It's got pretty much everything almost already. It's still waiting on a few mods, like one of the thermal expansion add-ons it's waiting on. But aside from that, I think it's got pretty much everything. Vein Miner is not going to be part of the final pack. It is actually only in here for testing purposes because it makes it a little bit easier for us testers to, well, get resources faster. Because while I may cheat in items here and there while I'm doing this, I don't plan on doing it a lot because the whole point is for us to break stuff, and we can't break stuff if we're cheating stuff in. It doesn't work like that. So we're just going to create a new world. We'll do Biomes of Plenty. Make sure to turn that on just in case I need it. Because if I have glitchy problems, then even though I record them, I'm going to need to be able to fix them too at the same time. So let's hope that we get something decent here. As far as this episode and future ones for this, it's not actually going to be like a series like I normally do. I'm not going to do like some long drawn out thing or anything like that. I'm pretty much just doing this for testing, so there may be pretty good breaks in between my recording of sessions. My first few episodes are probably going to be in good succession, but after that I will probably in between episodes be doing a whole lot of stuff in the background. That way I can kind of show stuff off as I go. I would say you could probably expect game to crash here and there because, well, like I said, alpha pack, it's bound to happen. We've got a lot of rubber trees. What kind of biome is this? A moor. That's interesting. Okay, we've got a fungal forest. Cool. Oh, this is some kind of swamp, like a foresty swamp. Okay. We got a dead forest. Ooh, cherry blossom grove. Why don't we go over there? I love cherry blossoms. It's one of my favorite woods. Let's see. I think it's got hats, morph. You know, it's a Direwolf 20 pack. It's got all the Direwolf 20 stuff. Everything you've seen him record with before and more. Everything that you see here, don't hold it to the grindstone or anything like that. Anything here is subject to change. None of this is likely to stay the same. It's most likely going to update several times before it even reaches an open state. I have no idea how much longer it's going to be. It's still very early testing, so we'll see how it goes. I'm trying to think of a few things. Early game, at least, I know that... And I fell in the water. Good job, me. I know that... Let's see. Tinker's Construct has a couple of cool new updates. Floating grass. That's obviously a glitch. Nothing to do with any kind of terrain generation. It bugs at all. Definitely gonna have to report that. It's such a bad thing. Ooh, what's that? Ceru Blossom. I don't recognize that from Ars Magica. Don't hold me to it. That might be new, but I don't recognize it. It's been a little while since I played with Ars Magica, so you know that could have been in 1.64 and I missed it easily. Let's see if we can't find a way down here, shall we? Alright, so like I was saying, Tinker's Construct has had a few cool changes, and I will get around to showing you those as soon as I can get some resources. You know what? We don't have to go through all this trouble. Okay. Let's make this easier on ourselves. Let's just spawn some tools, because I sincerely doubt that there are bugs with the tools, because if that were the case, that would be kind of silly. So we'll just spawn in a couple of vanilla tools. And we'll go ahead and do some armor real quick, because let's face it, I'm testing the pack. And we'll just make this easy on ourselves, shall we? Hello, sheep. Alright, sheep killing is good. Got the lovely morph skin and everything. And I'm going to be doing things that I wouldn't normally do, morphing into whatever. Like I said, I will be trying to break this as hard as I can, because that is my job. I'll probably get some pneumaticraft plants later. I'm not too worried about those right now. I see gravel. Ooh, there's lots of gravel down here, actually. Alright, good chunk of gravel to start with. Because while I can grow food, I might as well just have it ready for me. We'll get rid of the normal, boring stuff that would normally get in your way the first few minutes of Minecraft. We'll get all that out of the way and just get into the fun stuff, shall we? That sounds like a good time. More sheepies. Mandrake seeds, those don't sound familiar at all. I've never heard of those. I'm going to want to start on Botania pretty early too. I've actually gotten pretty fond of that. I never really played with the one... I never played with any Botania hardly before 1.710, so to be honest, I'm not going to know any changes on that one personally. It looks like we have one of the new versions of Armor Status HUD on the left side of my screen over there. At least I think that's what that is. Could be a different kind of Armor Status update thing. But it looks like Armor Status mod updated to me, so we'll see about that. Cherry wood. That was a very short tree for how big that was. There must be more wood in here. No, there's really not. Okie dokie then. That is very strange. One downside with 1.710 is there's a little bit of problems with lag on it. The chunk generation, the chunk generation is kind of buggy in 110, and it's actually been causing a lot of lag issues. Some ways around it. The easiest way around it, obviously, is to lower your chunk rendering distance, but you know, not everybody wants to lower their chunk render distance because, I mean, of course you would want to see farther away. But you can install, like, Fastcraft and whatnot, and those do help with your performance, so you can always try that stuff, and that can help. But of course, this is also an early pack too, so that doesn't help. We won't need a whole lot of wood, honestly, and I don't mind leaving floating trees because I don't really plan on staying over here, so not that big of a deal. Hello, Mr. Sheep, I need another wool. Come here. That's right. I actually have 4 wool. I don't actually think I needed wool. Oh well. He died in vain. Sucks for him. Oh, hey, I see a meteor and a village, it looks like. When I say meteor, that's not falling meteors, mind you. The newest version of Applied Energistics, not newest necessarily, but 1710 Applied Energistics, added these meteors that essentially spawn in Terrain-Gen. They don't just fall from the sky randomly. They spawn as you load the world, so if you've already loaded the world, there's not going to be one there. It'll be in a new chunk if you haven't seen one. Hey, look at that smeltery stuff. Cool. I'm going to be able to show you guys stuff really quick. But essentially it's made out of sky stone. Some of the... it's essential for some of the Applied Energistics recipes. And also in the center of these meteors is a chest which has blueprints, kind of. They're not really blueprints, they're more like inscriptions, I guess you could call them. But you put them in one of the new machines for Applied Energistics 2, and that's what's used to make the chipsets now. I call them chipsets, I think they call them processors actually, but they look like little chipsets to me, so you know. And I see half of a silverwood tree, which it looks like the meteor must have chunked. That's lovely. And this village is looking nice. It looks like we've got a railcraft building right here. Personally, I really don't use railcraft hardly at all, so I know next to nothing about this one. We may get into that on a more official Let's Play. I might take this hobby as steam engine though, it's a good way to produce MJ. Minecraft jewels. Hey, more gravel, although since I found smeltery pieces, I really don't need gravel anymore. Except for flint, maybe. But then again, this isn't a hardcore mod pack. I don't need to craft flint from gravel, and I don't need to make flint tools. I can make any tools. So that makes this a little bit easier. Looks like I'm got a little bit of lag there from some more Terrain-Gen. So I'm going to show you guys something cool here in just a second. I do need the gravel that I got already. That should be enough for what I need to show you. I actually might just spawn in the last couple things I need just to make this quicker. Because I seriously doubt that they screwed up the basic recipes. Especially considering that I've already tested that too, so I'm not really that worried about it. Like I said, I'm going to be spawning in stuff pretty often, especially if I've already tested it in another world or anything like that, so... This is so much more seared brick than I need. Way more than I needed. And we'll want to see if we can find a tinker house here too, because we'll get some easy parts, hopefully. Maybe we'll get something good, you never know. If not, we can always get the piston. Pistons are handy. And I can steal the work tables. There's no consequences in Minecraft for stealing. I don't think this has harvest. No, it definitely doesn't have harvest craft. Which is very unfortunate because I like being able to right-click my crops to pick them up. But I can spawn food, so I'm really not that worried about food at all. Alright, what do we got here? I don't see any promising houses. This one over here, maybe? It looks like a library house, no? What the hell? That's strange. And I don't know what mod that's from. That's obviously not supposed to be like that, though. What do we got here? Rowanberry? Ooh, some clay. Cool. And spectral dust. Handy. Not bad. Oh my goodness, the villagers are hilarious. What on earth happened to this village? It spawned all kinds of wonky. I would say that it's whatever's generating the villages, but at the same time, this is actually from one of the mods. I think this is So I think that's supposed to be a sign that says apothecary, and it's supposed to be right here. Because I think I've seen that before on a house. One of those houses like that. And there are no tinker houses, are there? I don't know what happened to this town, man. It is all kinds of screwed up. It's like part of it loaded halfway down, part of it loaded correctly. I don't know. Huh. Oh, hello. Where did you come from, mister? Alright, morph. Ooh, this looks like a tinker house. Oh yeah, tinker house. Jackpot. So you can see here the pattern chest got a new graphic. I'm not really sure how I feel about it just yet. We'll see how that works. I think it's still a work in progress, but we'll see. Let's see. Ooh, a blue slime binding. That's not bad. Nothing good, though. Nothing good at all. That's pretty lame. I'll take that, though. That's mine now. Alright, so let's move this stuff over here. So I can steal all the tables. These are all mine. Nobody else's. I don't want the pattern chest, because I'm not dealing with patterns spewing out everywhere. Nothing on the roof. Alright, what else we got? Oh, and another thing, I didn't even think about it, but if you have, this comes by default with the journey map, so if I were you, I would make sure that you disable the web map, because that actually takes up a decent chunk as well. So we're near an extreme hills too, so that's pretty helpful. If we happen to need emeralds, of course I could, you know, always just cheat them in if I really needed them for testing, so. Anyway, I can't mine this sky stone yet because that requires, why do I have all this? Did I not just put that in the chest? So confused. Alright, so what's next? Let's find somewhere to build. Oh, up on top of it. Wow, look at this. This is just gorgeous. We're gonna build up here. That is much flatter than I thought it was when I first spawned there. And we'll build... let's say... here, maybe? I'm not really sure, to be honest. I want to be able to expand. I'm going to want to make a decent sized base because if I'm going to be testing as many mods as I possibly can and trying to break them, I'm going to need a lot of room for that. So let's think lots of room, shall we? I don't think this is a good biome for lots of room because there's going to be water every which way. I want to say there was a prayer... No, this over here was... Oh goodness, a shield has a bunch of trees. Hey, another village. Interesting. We can raid that later though. Let's try up here. Sounds good to me. Either way though, I do intend to do... I'll probably do a decent amount of these episodes because I'm going to be testing it pretty thoroughly, but like I said, I'm also going to be doing a lot between episodes, so there might be, you know, massive overhauls to my base in the time period that it takes before you guys see again. Now, this is very strange. That is some funny biome gen right there. I don't know what to make of any of this. This is a meadow forest? How is this a meadow forest? Oh, there's a meadow over here, thank God. Meadow is good. Meadow is like plains. Except that looks really high. That is a really high meadow. What is up with this? I can't complain. That is not... That is 100% not a meadow, you liar. You liar. Oh my goodness. Let's try the chaparral. I'm gonna spend all my time looking for a place to settle down. Don't worry, guys. I would settle on one of these moors, but there's just too much water in the way, and I don't feel like blocking everything up. Chaparral doesn't look bad. Lots of grass, but that's easy to fix. I know this is different from those of you that actually watch more often. I don't usually fly around like this at all. Heck, I barely play in creative mode ever. Of course, I usually don't test packs either, so, you know, there's that. Alright. We're gonna have to make this easier, aren't we? We sure are. Okay. I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna go clean off this entire area before we continue. So, I will be right back. Alright, and we are back. So, I've got my nice little area leveled. Well, I should say leveled. I built it up a little bit. Thanks to the Builder's Wand, or the Super Builder's Wand that's creative mode only, but works beautifully for this. So if you're playtesting something, Super Builder's Wand works great. I was able to do this in very quickly, actually. And I figured, since I'm playing a Direwolf 20 mod pack, I might as well make a 9x9 as my first place. My first little place. Why not? So I've got my Tinker stuff set out here, and it is time for a smeltery. But not just any smeltery. A new and improved smeltery. So this is going to be pretty cool. I hope you guys like this. Just wait for it. This is going to be awesome. So to start a smeltery now, you only need like 6 of the blocks, period, to get started. I'll show you what I mean right here. Let me just put this down here out of the way, and we'll start like this. Now, if you've been keeping up with my other Let's Plays, you probably saw me try this, but it didn't work because it didn't have the right version of Tinker's Construct, but this does, so I get to show you guys a mini smeltery. Bam! This is a smeltery. It actually works. It holds 1 block. Only 1 block. Mind you, there's no drain on it, but you could, for instance, replace this with a drain, and you technically have a fully functioning smeltery. All I have to do is attach a faucet and a casting basin, but I'm not leaving it like this because why would we do that? That makes no sense. It will, however, be a really good addition for some mod packs like Blood and Bones, for instance, where it's harder to get your resources you need. This would be a great way to start really quickly. But we're not going to do that. We're not playing that right now. We're going to make a big smeltery. Why would we make a tiny smeltery like that? So what we need to do here is... I haven't actually tested shapes yet. I guess... let's try something weird. I think no matter what, the base always has to have the smelted stone. Or the seared stone, sorry. Let's just try something really strange real quick and see if it works. I don't think this will work, but it's worth a try. And we need a tank. Yeah, I didn't think so. It can't register this as a smeltery because it's not a square. However, if I take and go like this, then it is a smeltery now. Still smaller than a normal smeltery. It only holds 4 this time, but if you're really compact for space, you can do stuff like this. You could build the one that I just built a second ago, or this one, and just build them up instead of out if you're trying to conserve on horizontal space, because usually building up is a lot easier than building out. But I have plenty of room to build out here, so what I'm going to do is build a mega smeltery. I'm going to use every single block that I can manage to. I am making a humongous smeltery for sure. I'm thinking a 5x5 base, because why not? Look at this bad boy. This is a smeltery. No other smeltery like this bad boy. I'm liking this big time. Bam. So my first floor now can hold a whopping 20 ores. Or blocks, or whatever you're trying to melt. No, wait, 25. Yeah. Yeah, 25. No? Is there another? That's strange. Did I make this a 4x5? I did, didn't I? Whoops. My bad. I thought that looked wrong. I was like, wait a second, I made a 5x5. Silly me and my silly math. This also makes it a lot easier to push mobs into your smelteries if you're trying to get blood or something like that. There we go. So that holds 25 already. Let's take it up another step, shall we? Because we still need to put the drains on, and I like to have my drains on the second layer. Just like this. Bam. We'll do a casting basin there, or a table there and a basin there. And I want... Do I want solid blocks there? I think I do, yeah. And then I'm just gonna quickly grab some more of these. And... let's make it look pretty, shall we? Yeah. I think once I put lava in there, you can't see under that anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. Alright, so what do you guys think? I am going to hang on to the basin and the casting table, because I might just plug more of those in later. I might plug another basin in at least, because, you know, sometimes that's actually really helpful. But look at this! Look at the size of this smeltery! It holds 50 items! 50! That's crazy, and it's only 2 high. So much better, in my opinion. I mean, honestly, it's the same thing as building a 3-wide smelter, a 3x3 smeltery, just really tall, but yeah. If you've got room, why not? And the best part? I'm sure Direwolf himself will love this. It fits inside of a 9x9. Just barely, but it does. So you can make a nice giant smeltery like this. The only big problem is the walls literally touch the edges there, so you'd want to put this in a dead-end room if you were actually going to make it in a 9x9. Either way, that is a pretty sweet upgrade in my opinion. Oh, and another thing I get to show you guys real quick. I've got a pattern here. Check out the new stencil table. Look at this. Isn't this so much more convenient? I gotta give props to the mod author. I don't know if it was his idea or somebody gave him the idea, but not having to spam through next pattern is really nice in my opinion. So now I can just make patterns on the fly like that. It's just one of those little things that saves you a lot of time in the long run, which those are the best upgrades in my opinion. I mean, you can't beat that. So now I can just put a bunch of stencils in here. I'll take one of those, you know, all my basic stencils, and it's just so fast. So beautiful, isn't it? Props to the Tinker's Construct mod author. Props to him. Kudos. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's all the basic stencils I usually make before I start the smeltery up, which I have now. Alright. Either way, I think my time is about up. I don't want this to run any longer than a normal episode. Not to mention, I did show you guys the stuff that I wanted to show you first episode, so that makes me happy that I was able to get that out of the way. Good thing I didn't make you stop to watch me build. That would have taken a little bit longer. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this little tidbit here. Be sure to stay tuned because there is definitely more where this came from. I think next episode I will start with probably Botania, most likely. If you guys have never played Botania before, sorry about that, had a little bit of a crash. Really annoying timing too, considering that I was actually trying to finish up the episode. Gosh, way to interrupt me, Minecraft, good job. Either way, next episode I'm probably going to start on Botania. If you haven't played with it before, I'll be explaining stuff as I go. You can kind of consider this entire series to be kind of like a very large mod spotlight, because I'm pretty much going to be going through as many mods as I possibly can. Some of them I'll be doing off camera probably, but whatever I do on camera I'll try to explain as best I can to you guys. So if you've never used the mod before, then maybe you can get interested in the mod, and maybe you'll find something you like. I know that Botania sounded kind of silly to me at first, but after trying it out, it's one of my favorite mods now. It's so nice. Fun to do too, except for the mana generation, but we'll get into that later. Either way, between this episode and the next, though, I'm probably going to do a whole lot of mining and gathering of just general resources, pretty much, because there's no point in putting you guys through that. Obviously, nobody wants to watch that. That is a very bright flower to see from here. But nonetheless, no need to get distracted anymore. I hope you guys enjoyed this, though, more where this came from. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time.